shouting 10 between lines. Hopping over walls, I can see the police lights. I don't wanna get up and chill a minute, explain on a minute. I'm gonna arrest him like 3 times for petty crimes. Never saw through this, through that, not anymore. When the verse got caught, when the rest.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler-kun channel. Welcome to, I know, very late review, but this is your review of NXT Takeover UK Blackpool. This is the very first takeover for the NXT UK brand. I was pretty excited going into this show. I think everyone was. Yeah, a lot of great matches going into it that were really built up all the way. Now, I didn't see a lot of the... I didn't see any of the shows building up to this. So I kind of went into this with a very open, yet at the same time... What's the word? I can't really think of the word for it, but I went into this not really knowing what to expect, while at the same time figuring, you know, it's an NXT TakeOver show. Most of the time, if not all the time, NXT TakeOver shows deliver. I can never say I've been dissatisfied with an NXT TakeOver show. Now, we have all European wrestlers on this show, and I've seen Progress Wrestling, I've seen Rev Pro Wrestling, and they are just phenomenal and great, and this is going to be a great show. So let's start off with the first match. We had Tag Team Championships on the line to crown the inaugural NXT Tag Team Champions, Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven versus GYV, the Grizzled Young Veterans of Zach Gibson and James Drake. Mustache Mountain came out here with this new attire. They had like this like trunk and tights, like combination that was like red, black, and white. They actually looked pretty snazzy. They look pretty snazzy with that outfit on. I kind of want them to wear it a little bit more. That was definitely one of the things that stuck out to me a lot about this match. The match dynamic here was they just worked together so well. There's one point in the match where like James Drake went the elbow to the back of the head of Trent Seven. I guess he elbowed him so hard, and he ain't like peeing Will Ospreay his ass. And let me be careful before I get blocked by Trent Seven too. He ain't elbowed him that hard in the head, but I guess he elbowed him hard enough for Trent Seven to start bleeding. You know, one of the common threads in these matches that Trent Seven, you know, he starts off, he's doing those work or whatnot, he starts getting his ass kicked, and then we get the hot tag. Tyler Bate, hands down, has one of the best hot tags in all of wrestling. It used to be Jason Jordan when he was teamed up with Chad Gable, but I feel like Tyler Bate has definitely taken this guy's fire. When Tyler Bate gets tagged in, this guy is just a ball of fire. You don't really see many guys with that flair and all the speed and agility and, God, the strength this guy has. He has it all in one human body form. I can't say enough great things about that guy, really. And I don't want to sound biased because his name is Tyler as well. But still, like, this guy gets in the ring. He's going at both men. He's going at both men with everything he has. And then he manages to do the airplane spin on the James Drake. He sees Zach Gibson, puts James Drake down, gets Zach Gibson and James Drake on his shoulders, and then starts spinning them both around. The crowd went insane. I got hyped, even though it wasn't the first time I seen him do it. But still, like, the fact that he was able to have 2 men on his shoulders and spin them around, he was just, like, doing as fast as he would usually do it, and he kind of stopped there to, like, 7 seconds. But the fact that he is able to do that, and not other men in this world can do that, is just... wow. A few more tag team moves later. Trent Seven got back into the ring. He went for a Rainmaker onto... I don't know if they really called it a Rainmaker down there, but he went for a Rainmaker onto James Drake, who dodged it, went outside the ring, and did a suicide dive onto Tyler Bate. Who, mind you, Zach Gibson had Tyler Bate on his shoulders in like the whole Road Warriors position, the whatever the tag team move is called. He had them in that position, and James Drake did a suicide dive and knocked him off his shoulders, and that kind of made for like a really cool looking move. And then Trent Seven went outside the ring. He went for a suicide dive, but James Drake caught him with a drop kick on the way out, and that looked pretty cool as well. He managed to get Trent Seven back into the ring, and they hit their wheelbarrow codebreaker, like, once again, a revival-like move onto Trent Seven, and they get the win. Your inaugural NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Zach Gibson and James Drake. Good, really good match. Had no problems with it. I liked it. I liked the winners. I liked the outcome. Great start off to the show. It really set the tone here. I liked it. Before we get to the next match, we saw, like, basically earlier in the day, Jordan Devlin was attacking Travis Banks before the match. And it was kind of weird seeing this, as I've seen Travis Banks in other places working heel, and Jordan Devlin is the babyface. So seeing the roles reversed was just, I don't know, felt weird. But which led into their match. Both men come out. Travis Banks came out last. Travis Banks comes out first, then Jordan Devlin follows behind him. He does a suicide dive onto Jordan Devlin, but he lands very weirdly onto his leg, well, as it seems he did. He starts to go at Jordan Devlin, but Jordan Devlin, of course, is the healthier one. So he basically powers over him. He stomps him in the corner, stops his leg on the steel steps, and basically takes him out of the equation. You know, you have like officials and whatever coming down to check on the guy, and apparently he can't compete. Now Johnny Saint, whoever the hell the other guy's name is, they come out and they're like, "Well, Jordan Devlin, since you're the one who attacked it, we expected you to do this, and because you attacked." They basically made it seem like, they kind of made it seem like Jordan Devlin attacked Travis Banks before he got to the ring. And I'm like, wait a minute. Travis Banks did a suicide dive onto Jordan Devlin before the match started. So the injury was really Travis Banks' fault. But we'll shape it as it's Jordan Devlin's fault since he attacked him earlier in the day. Whatever. Johnny Saint basically says they expected Jordan Devlin to do this. And we have someone else lined up for you in case something like this happened. So here's your new opponent. Now, mind you, while Jordan Devlin was in the ring, he was cutting a promo talking about how he's the greatest Irish wrestler in the world. It's immediately when he said the greatest Irish wrestler, I said, watch Finn Balor comes out here to replace Travis Banks. And what do you know? Finn Balor came out as the replacement for Travis Banks. Now, I didn't have a problem with that. I just thought it was kind of funny how they mentioned that. And then, what do you know? Finn Balor, who just so happened to be backstage, who just so happened to be in his wrestling gear, is a replacement for it. It's like, when you think about it, it's like, there's no way that couldn't have been set up. You know what I mean? I bet you Finn Balor was probably plotting this moment. He probably was talking to Jordan Devlin backstage like, yo, I need you to put out the hit on Travis Banks so I can get this match at NXT UK, alright? He comes out, they have a match. It was pretty decent. There wasn't really anything that really stood out to me or too many stops I can remember that I didn't really write down. They kept a pretty steady pace throughout. It really what it is. I can't really say too many good things about it because wasn't much that, like I said, not much stood out to me. Finn Balor ended up hitting a left DDT on Jordan Devlin, followed that up with a dropkick into the corner, then hit the coup de grace after like 4 different attempts. He missed like all 3 of them. We didn't miss it, but like Jordan Devlin kind of countered it. Basically, for the 4th time, he hits the coup de grace finally and gets the pin over Jordan Devlin. Finn Balor winning the match. Like I said, it was decent. Not much happened. I would have rather Jordan Devlin win the match since he's the one that's going to be there probably the next week and the week after and the week after. Like, this was a one-off appearance, I'm sure, for Finn Balor. He's not going to be on the show every week, so I really don't understand why you need to win. I understand, he's the big guy on the roster, on the main roster, and, he was kind of just coming in to, surprise everybody, but still. Then we get into the next match, Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis in a no disqualification match. I was peeping Dave Mastiff. He came out with the whole like Vader attire going on here. I didn't think many people caught on to it, but I saw him. I liked it. I appreciate it. It was kind of paint by numbers. I think you expect from an Extreme Rules match. Candlesticks were used. Honestly, wait a minute. I don't think chairs were used in this match. There actually was no chairs. I was a little surprised by that. Wait, no. There was a chair used. Or at least there was a chair got into the ring. A chair was brought into the equation at some point, but I don't remember if there was a chair used. Let's just say there was. So chairs were used, candlesticks were used, steel steps were used, tables were used. These are like the 4 ingredients you need to create a recipe for a no disqualification match. So you could call and name the spots you want. They either did happen or in some alteration they probably happened. One of the cool spots in this match, I will say, was earlier in the match, Eddie Dennis kind of exposed the outside. He took back the mat they placed on the outside and exposed like wherever the flat floor is supposed to be, like marble, whatever. Probably not marble because that would fucking really hurt. But whatever type of tiling they had going on the ground there. He got him on the outside. They went back to it a few minutes, or probably I think like 10 minutes later. And Dave Mastiff managed to hit a rolling fireman's carry onto Dennis onto the outside. So that was actually pretty cool. When he got back into the ring, Dave Mastiff got Eddie down and got him into the corner. Dave Mastiff shocked the fuck out of me with this spot. I think he shocked everybody. This guy, you guys have seen Naomi do the, the corner moonsault, right? Where she hops on the bottom rope, then on the top rope and ricochets off into the moonsault. Well, he does one on the bottom rope. And then does the ricochet off. I wasn't expecting that. from the guy, but he did it. He didn't hit Eddie Dennis. If he would have hit Eddie Dennis, I would have popped. I would have popped for it. I mean, I low key did pop anyway because I wasn't expecting him to do that. But that was a pretty cool move. Eddie Dennis got out of it. He hits that alteration of Key Crusher onto Dave Mastiff, but only got a 2 count. Match ended with Dave Mastiff managing to get Eddie Dennis into the corner where the table was set up, and hitting a cannonball onto Eddie through the table and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. Dave Mastiff winning the match. It was decent for a no DQ match. It really was kind of weak, but hey, like the match kept a steady pace. They did the moves you would expect people to do in this match, but it was nothing blow away. So then we get into the co-main event: Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the NXT UK Women's Championship. I really hate saying NXT UK, man. It just feels like so much more words in my mouth. I'm just gonna start saying UK. It's not just take NXT out of the equation. The match itself was good. I thought both women played their part very well. You know, Rhea Ripley being like the heel and the heavy in a sense, because I don't want to say her moves is basically all powerhouse moves, but she basically did that most of the match with Toni. You know, she threw around a few times. She was powering over her at most times. Toni Storm kind of was playing that underdog, you know, fighting spirit babyface, and it really worked for her, as it always does. And she's just so easy to get behind. And Rhea Ripley cracks me up. Like, she is, in my opinion, the female embodiment of Dolph Ziggler when it comes to selling. She oversells a lot, and I just find it so fucking funny when Toni does this DDT and Rhea Ripley just falls on the ground. I'm like, Rhea, chill the fuck out. It could have hurt you that much. Like, the match really flowed nicely when they built up to the finish. I felt like this was the finish. They're building up to Rhea Ripley manages to get Toni Storm down. Toni starts to come back. She finally hits Storm Zero onto Ripley and she kicks out. I wasn't expecting her to kick out of it, especially because I don't think up to that point anyone kicked out the Storm Zero on the NXT or UK brand. So that kind of shocked the hell out of me and everyone in the arena. A minute or so later, Rhea Ripley managed to get Toni Storm up, I guess, for her finisher. But Toni gets out of it. She grabs Rhea by the hair, and Rhea's like, ow, 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 or something like that. And she puts her down into the Stormbreaker position and hits the Stormbreaker. Is it the Stormbreaker? I hope it's the Stormbreaker. Storm Zero. I called it the Stormbreaker. God damn, well lost, bro. He blocked me. It's the Stormtrooper. It's Storm Zero onto Rhea Ripley for the pin and wins the NXT UK Women's Championship. That's such a fucking mouthful. Good match. I thought the ending was just a bit out of place, the way it just came about. Like, Toni hits the move, she kicks out, and then like Rhea goes for her move, and then she just kind of grabs her hair and put, like, she ain't cooking her gut. She ain't do some elbows to the face. She ain't chop her or nothing. She just pulled her hair down and hit the move. That I wasn't a fan of. But other than the finish, I like the match. Then we get into the main event. Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey for the NXT UK Championship. You guys know my opinions on the reign of Pete Dunne. I love Pete Dunne as a wrestler. I think he's great. Joe Coffey, I think he's pretty good as a wrestler. I could not find much positive things to say about this match. And I really, really do not want to come off as negative Nancy as I do in some of my reviews. But I did not like this main event at all. Not a fan of it at all. And I'll tell you guys why. This match went like 36. This match went like almost 40 minutes. Almost 40 minutes. What reason did they have to go that long? I don't know. I really don't know. And it would be okay if the match was good or great throughout, but the first 15 minutes was just a bunch of buffer. Like, they were filling each other out. They were trying to do some moves in there, but it was moves I've seen Pete Dunne do all the time. It was moves I've seen Joe Coffey do in previous matches. It was just boring. I was on my phone at some points, like, during the first 15-20 minutes. I just did not care about what was happening. The crowd seemed they were trying to get invested, but if you have a short attention span like me sometimes, you just kind of, you could drift off during this match, honestly. There was one cool spot, one cool yet odd spot, I would say. Pete Dunne managed to get, like, Joe Coffey into an armbar. This was, like, the first of, I don't know how many armbars I saw in this match. an armbar, and Joe Coffey managed to lift Pete Dunne up, power him up. He puts Pete Dunne on the apron. Pete Dunne is laying on the goddamn like ring post at this point. He gets to the top rope. Pete Dunne still laying on the apron, still has his hand clutched up, and he just like basically throws Pete Dunne off the apron. And I was like, was that a cool spot? I don't know if I'll call that cool or not. I don't know how to interpret that spot, honestly, but okay. There are spots in certain matches that are long where there is what I like to call fatigue selling, and that's when, you know, wrestlers are down on the ground and they're kind of doing a heavy breathing, or they're all like, they do this one big spot and they both fall down. Or one wrestler's down and, you know, everyone's down and they're doing their heavy breathing. They're trying to get back to the pace. They're setting a tone for the crowd to clap or whatever. That's what I call fatigue selling. They did this so much in this match. I think about a good 5 or 6 minutes of this match was just fatigue selling. Then comes a spot I thought, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but Joe Coffey goes to the top rope, and he's on like the outskirts where you would go for a dive at. Pete Dunne's now on the spot where you would be ascending the top rope for like a suplex or something. And it looks like they're setting up for like a Spanish fly spot, but Joe Coffey got Pete Dunne on the rope in the first place. So I'm like, well, what the hell are they trying to do? So I'm thinking, okay, Pete's going to counter this into a Spanish fly maybe. And it looks like Joe kind of missed his step or lost his grip or something, but Joe fell outside of the ring, basically almost hits the barricade, and Pete falls inside the ring. And they botched it, basically. And I was like, oh. And it's not American crowd, so they didn't chant, "You fucked up." I guess they had respect for both men, really. Pete Dunne gets outside the ring like 10 seconds later, like he just no-sold the fall. And he goes straight after Joe Coffey. And you can kind of see them like talking to each other. Like he gets him and grabs his head and they're like doing this. You can basically tell they're talking to each other. He hits a discus lariat. He gets him back into the ring. And I'm like, oh boy, I thought they're going to go for the spot again. And what do you know? They did. So they go for the spot again. Pete, this time, gets Joe in position for a suplex spot, which is what they should have done the first time. He gets him in position for the suplex spot. And he gets him in the same Spanish fly spot looking position. And they try to go for it, but I guess someone misstepped again. And this time, both of them fall into the outside. And that's the second time they botched the same spot. At this point, I said, this spot is dead. Do not try it again. I don't care if it's supposed to be. Don't go back to it. It's over. The crowd started chanting one more time. I said, no, don't encourage them. Like, really, I couldn't stand that crowd. I really couldn't. I'm about to make so many of my UK viewers mad, and I'm so sorry, but I couldn't. And after they did that spot, that spot really just felt like, wow, this match is going on way too long. It felt like they'd been dragging like for like the last 10 minutes before the spot even happened. I'm like, this match, why is this match going on so long? It could have ended like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago even. Why is this match still going on? They done botched the same spot twice. It's over. Stop it. So they get back into the ring, and obviously I think they're starting to get to the end of the match here. Pete Dunne hits him with a lariat, and he goes for the bitter end. And Joe kicks out. I'm like, he kicked out of a third bitter end? Really? So now Pete Dunne mounts on top of Joe. And he goes for this thing. He goes for his finger snap. This finger twisting for like that fifth or sixth time during this match. And this time, Joe taps out. I have never seen someone tap out to the finger twisting spot, which I guess is fine. But I don't know. That was the end of the match. Pete Dunne retained the title. I came out of this feeling really disappointed. I did not like it at all. Throw the match away. You guys might say I'm going too hard on this match, or it wasn't that bad. But guys, I don't sugarcoat shit for you. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring, and then they botched 2 spots, and then they went to the finish, and the finish just kind of didn't feel like it led up to, it was really built up properly. No. I can't see how anyone can really defend this as a good match. It wasn't. Had they shaved 10 minutes off this match, it would have been fine, but... And then I heard the infamous theme song. I don't know what the name of the song, the symphony is called, but I heard the bum 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 bum, and Walter comes out, and I was like, Yes, because I made the prediction on the other day's video about how I thought that Walter was going to come out and attack Pete Dunne. Now he didn't attack Pete Dunne, but he came out after the match. Him and Pete Dunne had a stare down. Joe Coffey tried to get in the ring, but Walter booted him out of the ring. They had a stare down, and now it's how the show went off. So Walter's officially on NXT UK, and I'm pretty certain he's going to be wanting to take the title for Pete Dunne. Rightfully so, because Pete Dunne, it's over for him. After this match, I wanted to see that title off of Pete Dunne even more. So if they wanted me to, if their mission was to want you to see Pete Dunne hold the title longer, they failed. Because now I want Pete Dunne to lose the title more. Walter, please beat Pete Dunne for the title. I love the guy, and that's why I want him to lose it. Because him holding that title is making me not like him. Especially after this match, if that makes sense. Anyway, that was my review of the show. I botched more than Pete Dunne in this match. I'm about to do a lot of editing because I'm tired, but I wanted to get this review out. So thank you all for watching. I love you guys as always. And let me know what you guys think down below and all that jazz. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.